Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sirajul Akfazi. I welcome you in my YouTube channel. Today in this video, I am going to talk about HbA1c. You know, HbA1c is a very important test for diabetes. So what is this and why we need it? So I will discuss about the terminology, definition and descriptions. Then principle, method, structure, sample preparation and maintenance, advantages and disadvantages, normal and abnormal values, and clinical significance. So, terminology. You know, HB means hemoglobin. HB means hemoglobin. HbA1 is a series of glycated variants resulting from attachment of various carbohydrate to N-terminal valine of Hb. Glycosylations means enzymatic addition of any sugar to a protein molecule. Glycations, when one glucose attached, it is not removed from the hemoglobin, therefore it remains inside the erythrocytes. So the lifespan of RBCS 120 days, non-enzymatic. Now A1c means glycated hemoglobin together called HbA1. A1c derive average glucose. Now glycated hemoglobin means what? Glycated hemoglobin is a form of hemoglobin that is measured primarily to identify the 3-month average plasma glucose concentration. 3-month average plasma glucose concentration. The test is limited to 3-month average because the lifespan of a red blood cell is 3 months, 120 days. It is formed in a non-enzymatic glycation pathway by hemoglobin exposure to plasma glucose. Now friends, normal hemoglobin and glycated hemoglobin, Hb and HbA1c. Hemoglobin contains 4 heme glucose groups that bind oxygen molecule to an iron atom core. Glucose permanently binds to protein like hemoglobin after prolonged exposure to elevated blood sugar. This is the model. Now structure of hemoglobin. You can see alpha horn, beta horn, and alpha horn, RBC, HbA, beta horns. So beta globin, alpha globin. You can see the situation of heme, iron atom, and site of HbE mutation, and site of HbS mutation. So, what is the principle? Glycations of protein is a frequent occurrence, but the case of hemoglobin, a non-enzymatic reaction occurs between glucose and N end of the beta chain. And this forms a ship base, which is itself converted to 1-deoxyfructose, deoxyfructose. A ship base, a nitrogen analogues of aldehyde or ketone, in which the CO group is replaced by amine groups, and it is usually formed by oxidation of aldehyde or ketone with primary amine. A1c is weighted average of blood glucose level during the life and the red blood cell 120 days. Therefore, glucose level on days nearer to the test contribute subsequently more to the level of A1c than the level in days further from the test. And this is also supported by beta from practice showing that HbA1c level improved significantly by 20 days from the start of the intensification of glucose lowering treatments. You can see the formation of ship base through these reactions. Primary amine react with aldehyde or ketone, it gives imine, which is known as Schiff base. Where R may be alkyl or aryl group, Schiff base that contains aryl substituents are substantially more stable and more readily synthesized, while those which contains alkyl substituents are relatively unstable. Schiff bases of aliphatic aldehyde are relatively unstable and readily polymerizable. So, while those of the aromatic aldehyde give effective conjugations are more stable. The formation of Schiff base from aldehyde or ketone is a reversible reaction and generally takes place under acid or base catalysis and upon heating. So what does the A1C test measure? Normally some of the glucose in the blood stream attaches into itself to protein in our body. Once the sugar is attached to the hemoglobin, it stays there for the life of the red blood cell, which is about 120 days, 3 months. The higher the level of blood sugar, the more sugar attaches to the hemoglobin and higher the percentage of hemoglobin, which is glycosylated HbA1c, and this is why the results are given as percentage, for example 7.5%. So when blood glucose level are high, glucose molecules attach to the hemoglobin in red blood cell, and the longer hyperglycemia occurs in blood, the more glucose bind to the hemoglobin in the red blood cell and the higher the glycated hemoglobin. Once a hemoglobin molecule is glycated, it remains that way, a build-up of glycated hemoglobin within the red cell. Therefore, reflects the average level of glucose to which the cell has been exposed during its life cycle. Measuring glycated hemoglobin assesses the effectiveness of the therapy by monitoring long-term serum glucose regulations. Alternative names: beta-N1-deoxyfructose 1-ide hemoglobin, hemoglobin A1c या HbA1c, glycated hemoglobin, and glycohemoglobin or glycosylated hemoglobin. My friends, different HBs, fetal hemoglobin HbF, adult hemoglobin HbA, sickle cell disease HbS, hemoglobinopathies HbC, HbE. Glucose in the blood react with the hemoglobin A to form glycated Hb. So why is this test performed? The HbA1c test is a way to assess blood glucose control over time. It represents the average blood glucose level over the previous 100 days. And however, it does not replace the need for heme blood glucose monitoring on daily basis. Why does the HbA1c measure? HbA1c measures how much glucose is stuck to the hemoglobin in your blood. This tells you what your average blood glucose level has been for the past 2 or 3 months. The HbA1c results is given as a percentage figure. By monitoring your HbA1c level regularly, you can see if your diabetes control is improving or deteriorating. It is always important to know your most recent HbA1c level. If your result is higher than normal, the chances of developing diabetes and complications are increased. If your result is lower than normal, the chances of developing diabetes complication are decreased. So, reference values of HbA1c 4.5 to 5.6, normal 5.7 to 6.4, pre-diabetes, and more than 6.7 diabetes, 6.6 to 7 adequate control, 7 to 8% inadequate control, more than 99% very poor control, according to ADA, American Diabetes Association. So what is the method? A number of techniques are used to measure hemoglobin H1c. Laboratory use HPLC. The HB1 result is calculated as ratio to total hemoglobin by using chromatogram, immunoassay, enzymatic, capillary electrophoresis, Bronate affinity chromatograph. So friend, types of HPLC depends on molecular weight of solute, water solubility of solute, polarity of solute, ionic and non-ionic character of solute. So practical considerations. POC instrument not be used to make this diagnosis. Always confirm using same test. So simple preparations. Whole blood primer reconstruct. So this is the more technical. Blood sample, daily maintenance of HB pre-run, point to care instruments. This is it. So my friends, I hope this video will be helpful to you. If you like this video, then subscribe my channel, and thanks for watching.